What up, guys? It's King Fox with Never Die Alone. Alright, today I'm going to bring you a quick tutorial on how to map the 6-axis controller for Terraria. Real quick, the two things we're going to need is the 6-axis controller app. As I say in most of the videos, if you do not know how to pair it, there is plenty of videos on there already, so I will not be going through the tutorial on that side. So we will need 6-axis and we will need Terraria. First thing we're going to go ahead and do is go to Terraria. And we're just going to get a quick screenshot just so where we know what buttons we're mapping and where we're going to map them at. Most of the time I forget this is the first step and I go somewhere else and I start it up that route. But let's go ahead and start it up real quick. Like on most of the games, or most of the tablets, rather, you can hold the home button and the power button together, and you will hear that noise right there. That's going to give you a quick little screenshot, and we can go ahead and just hit home. Sometimes it doesn't work, but you don't have to close Terraria out. It'll make it easier in a second, and you'll see why. So we'll just go ahead and jump into here. Click preferences. Sometimes it'll be in the top right hand corner if you don't have the actual toggle button for the settings. But okay, getting started. Touchpad settings, touch emulation, right there. And we're going to go to edit touch profiles. We're going to double tap the menu, and we are going to change background. Alright, and boom, 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 boom. Right there. And we will load this one up right here. Okay. So, alright. I've done this a couple times, so there's a couple things that I've learned. It's just to make it easy, but we'll just go ahead and get it started, and I'll talk about it as we go through. So we'll start adding the buttons. I'm going to start with left. We're going to bring this one right over here to the left. On these ones, we're going to go ahead and double tap on the button and go to button preferences. Properties, and we're going to hit swipe left. This just makes it easy because sometimes you don't want to have to use the analog controller. So yeah, it's just you'll see after you get it going, and then like I said, you can always critique the buttons. We'll go ahead and move this one right here. Double tap, if I can get the damn thing to pop up. And we're going to do swipe up and go ahead and close that out. Double tap again, add button, right, put that here, double tap, we're going to button properties, swipe right, double tap, add button, down, we always like to go down, move that one right there so it's a little closer so it looks uniform, double tap on the down, swipe down. And like I said, I just kind of ran into a couple issues when I first started mapping it, so I went ahead and went this route. Add button. Now we're going to do the left analog trigger. Left analog, not trigger, because I'm a retard. We're just going to sit that right in the middle, just like that. And you'll see why in a second. Like I said, go ahead. We will not change anything on that one. Alright, and we'll leave it like that. Double tap. Now here's where it's just pretty much based on what you want to do, what kind of controller you're using. Obviously this is a 6-axis tutorial, so most likely you're going to be using this one, but I'm going to start with cross, which is X. I don't know why it says cross, but I've said it before in other videos. I put it right up here, and I pretty much just go from X to square, triangle, into circle, and I do the same thing. Square, put that right there. Triangle, put that right there, add button, and last but not least, circle. And I kind of like doing it like this. It makes it easy so you can quick toggle those inventory items, and then I do the same thing, but I do it from the left side. And the way I did this side is I did L1 right there, I did L2 for the second, and then I did, what was it, R2, and you'll see why I didn't do R1, but now pretty much I left it just like that. I left 4 on the right side, 3 on the left, and then I gave myself 3 in the middle that I would actually use a mouse for. And I'll get to that in a second, but we got 2 more buttons to do. I did select, so where I could get into my menu, which I went past it, sorry. Select so I could get into the menu, right there. And one more, I did add button. I did the right analog right over here. That's just going to give you a chance to sit there and, well, it's you'll see when we go to play the game, but it's pretty much for the simple reasons of when you're actually using a weapon or you're using the pickaxe or pick saw or whatever you might be using, you can actually use it as it's intended to be used. Left is left, right is right, and so yeah, fourth and so on. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and save this because we are done. And obviously you see I already have Terraria right there, so I'm just going to hit new, and I'm just going to put 505. And most of anybody that knows about Terraria, it's made by 505 Games. Much appreciation. They got a little work to do on this one, but alright, so we're saved and we're done. Before we go ahead and start the game up, we're going to go back. It tells you it's going to be lost. If you want to, you can double do it. Alright, this is where it really makes a difference. Most people that use this, they haven't used actual mouse emulation. I love it. It's the best. You can fully control every bit of the tablet with the mouse. Makes it super sick, super simple, pretty badass. But the way I went about it, the reason why I didn't use the start menu instead of the select menu is because I keep it toggled for my actual mouse mode. And this means that when you hit start, it's going to bring up the mouse, and you can actually use that right analog as a mouse. And then if you're wanting to use the normal right analog as your fighting stick, you would actually go and hit start again and turn it off. So as you see, mine's set to start. Obviously, it's just a preference. It's something that you're going to choose on your own. And then the reason why I didn't use R1 in the actual setup for the Terraria is because I use it here. And so I use the left click, the left mouse button, this one, and you can see it right there as my R1. Like I said, when you get into it, for me, it was beneficial to do it that way. But yeah, so the analog stick we use is the right analog stick. I don't know, for me, I'm a righty, so it's a little bit more comfortable than it would be for the left. The mouse speed is quite fast off of default, so I went it to about 20. Yeah, and so we're done there. We'll just hit back, and then before you can start your game up, you just got to remember to go into this piece. Most people forget this, as I do most of the time myself, but this will pretty much show all the games that you've mapped, and it'll actually bring up those controllers. If you have it for set to none, it's not going to work. And so we'll go to 505, and then now we can go ahead and hit the button, start Terraria back up. So yeah, and now you can see that this is not working, but it's just because it's too small. And so the ideal is behind it, and if y'all see where it says Fox and the sun doesn't look like normal and you're like, what the hell, man, I will be doing a video on how I went about that. I did quite a few different things like that were different. The rain is acid green. I'm gonna end up doing a video on all the backgrounds. I'm gonna take everything out and put my own personal backgrounds in. I'll show you the mouse. There's the mouse. You can see it on screen now. The mouse is cool. It doesn't work exactly like you would want it to work. Up here we can control all the ones like this, like normal. Or we can go ahead and hit X, square, triangle, O, L1, L2, R2. And you see it switch through those. Or obviously, like we said, we can go ahead and control these by normal, by default. Click in here and you see that it's pretty much self-explanatory. So anything else we need to go over? Oh, how to fix the left analog. You see how it's not got enough movement place. And there is one thing that I did notice, that the reason why that happens, we'll just go ahead and go back real quick. And I wouldn't have set it up, and I'm glad it kind of happened, so then I can explain to you how to fix that real quick. Double tap, load profile. This is what makes it so nice. You bring it back up, bam, everything's here. This piece is, you need to have it bigger. The button itself has to be bigger. Sometimes this can be a pain in the ass to get it to resize. Let's see. If I was, there we go. There's that. And like I said, it's a pain in the ass sometimes. There we go. Okay, so now I see it. You tap in the outside of the square, but you don't need it that quite big. I still kept it about right to there. Put it back in the middle, a little bit too big. Put it right there. And if you had to, you can just go ahead and move these buttons so where it's not thinking that you're pressing the D-pad and that button at the same time, which we're good there. Double tap. Something that you can try yourself. I actually didn't do it myself. Double tap on it. You can go to buttons, and then you can go to relative touch mode, which is that one right there. I don't remember 100% if I did that. I might have. We're going to find out in 2 seconds. Go ahead and make sure you save. Save is done. 505. Yes, I want to overwrite. Alright, we're done there. And the cool part is keeping Terraria open allows you to just jump right back in. And yeah, so it actually was. You got to make sure you have the relative touch on. And like I said, I'm going to definitely have a video coming out. Ooh, some super frame drop right there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a video on, I'm going to change all these backgrounds. It's not that I don't appreciate what they did, but if you can change it, why wouldn't you? If I stay up here too long, the waverine's going to come. Boom, boom. Alright, so, get the hell out of here. Alright, yeah, pretty much, so like I said, I'm still figuring out the YouTube side, so having to put a link in the description and all that is not something that'll probably be there. Just check the channel out itself. Like, subscribe, definitely leave a comment. If you see something I missed or I'm just retarded and you want to say it, I definitely appreciate it. It doesn't bother me. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope this tutorial helps. If you do have any kind of questions, like I said, just go ahead and leave a comment, and I'll definitely get back to you as fast as possible. Appreciate it, guys.